Every once in a while comes a time that a singular NBA draft can completely alter the course of the league for decades to come. Filled with players that are considered generational talents, that was the case for a few different drafts throughout history. But some stand out far more than others, so we come to the question of what is the most talented NBA draft class in league history. When it comes to the most talented NBA draft class, there are a few that come to mind, but the three that stand out the most are the 1984, 96 and 2003 draft classes. Each of these classes had a plethora of talent that went on to make an impact in the league for many years. Before I talk about which NBA draft class was the best, 95% of people who watch our videos are not subscribed. In the last few weeks, we have reduced this down from 99%. However, in order to make the channel grow and allow us to get bigger and greater content, please do me a favour and hit the like button to show that I'm going in the right direction with the content. Now back to which NBA draft class was the best. The 1984 class is widely considered to be the most talented of all time. It was the year that featured Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley and John Stockton, among many other athletes that would go on to be household names. It's hard to beat arguably the greatest player in league history, one of the best centres to ever play, a bruising forward in Barkley, and the best passer the world has ever seen in Stockton. Jordan, as we all know, is arguably the best player to ever suit up. He's won 6 championships, never losing in the NBA Finals and making the Chicago Bulls a team that was feared for years and years. The future GOAT didn't even go number 1 or number 2. Olajuwon went on to pick up 162 win shares throughout his entire career, and some believe that he's the greatest centre to ever play. He was consistently dominant on the court and won multiple championships thanks to his dominance in the paint. Stockton was a 10-time All-Star who has the single season record for assists at 1,164 and also holds the all-time records in assists and steals. Then Barkley comes in as a guy that played for multiple teams but was the 4th player to hit 20,000 points, 10,000 rebounds and 4,000 assists throughout his career. These 4 in particular have 47 combined All-Star appearances, 45 All-NBA selections, 23 All-Defensive selections, 10 scoring titles, 5 steal titles, 3 rebound titles, 9 assist titles, 3 block titles, 7 MVP awards and 8 NBA championships. It's hard to argue against the 1984 class being the greatest of all time. Let's take a look at the 1996 NBA draft class. The 1996 class was an incredibly deep class that was filled with top-tier talent. The start of it all was Kobe Bryant. Picked at a lowly 13th overall, Bryant was selected alongside the sharp-shooting Ray Allen, Steve Nash, Stephon Marbury, Pierre Stoichkov, Marcus Camby, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Allen Iverson, Jermaine O'Neal and Derek Fisher, just to name a few. That's right, all of these guys came into the league during the same draft. That's just insane to think about. In this class, we got to see the all-time three-point leader, 3 different MVPs of the league, and a combined 64 All-Star Game appearances. Kobe was an 18-time All-Star with the Lakers and won 5 championships with them, along with an MVP in 2008. Allen used to be the three-point champion before Steph Curry came along and took the crown, though Allen still made 2,973 three-pointers throughout his career and is a good 400 over any other player not named Curry. Allen almost won MVP, but his best season was robbed of him due to a phenomenal Allen Iverson campaign. Iverson averaged 26.7 points per game throughout his career and was an 11-time All-Star himself. Then there's Nash, one of the best passers to ever play in the league at the time. He never played in the NBA Finals, but won 2 MVP awards and almost got a 3rd in 2007. These were 3 consecutive years as well. Steve led the league in assists in 5 different years and had 10,335 dimes in total. Now these were just the most notable names. Other guys that were mentioned earlier like Camby, Marbury and Fisher and O'Neal were all incredibly talented players that were stars on their respective teams at one point. It's not like they were just above average players. These were studs at different points in their careers. I feel like this class was just barely under the 1984 one, but boy was this a close race. The 2003 draft was another one that almost deserved the top spot. The only reason it didn't was because the top guys in this class completely carried the rest of the pack. It was one of the years where the early selections dominated, while some of the later picks just never panned out. LeBron James leads the way in this class. Dwayne Wade follows, along with Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony, Kyle Korver, Boris Diaw, and David West. All these guys were great players. LeBron alone could skyrocket this draft class, as people have him up there alongside Michael Jordan as the best player to ever play. Wade is another Hall of Fame talent, just like Bosh and Anthony. If you just take LeBron, Melo, Bosh and Wade, you will find that they combine for 47 All-Star games and 29 All-NBA selections. LeBron, Bosh and Wade in particular also teamed up for multiple championship runs together with the Miami Heat. The depth of this class doesn't reach further than the 7th player. If you look at the 1984 class, the 7th best player in terms of win shares was Kevin Willis at 81. In 2003, the 7th best player was Kirk Hinrich. Hinrich was a guy that never made it into the All-Star game and had a massive 25 win share difference from Willis. If there was just a little more talent in the back end of the class, this could easily be the top pick. It just didn't pan out like that. Make sure you check out our video on how the NBA draft works to see how teams end up with these once in a generational talents.